P.O. Victor says, hey, Taylor, diocesan seminarian here, praying for perseverance through this madness and praying Pope Leo will repeal Traditionis Custodes. So yeah, we got to pray for our seminarians. My heart goes out to the seminarians, particularly the diocesan seminaries, because there's so many good men like P.O. Victor here who want to offer their lives as priest and victim for Jesus Christ on the altar. And so many of them receive their vocation or have attachment to the traditional Latin Mass. And, you know, one of the hard things about Traditionis Custodes and the move by Pope Francis is it cuts them off. Part of Traditionis Custodes states that seminarians cannot be trained and ordained to celebrate the traditional Latin Mass, and that's sad. Again, that kind of goes back to my analogy where the Supreme Commissioner of the World Federation of Chess says, not only can you not play the old traditional chess, you can't even let your students learn about or be trained in the old rules of chess. That's a little harsh. Not only can you not have it, you can't even teach them, can't even talk about it. Joseph says the analogy holds. The Novus Ordo is blitz chess. Interesting. But I think the analogy is better, not just blitz chess. I think the analogy is better to actually change just one or two or three of the rules of chess. It could still be called chess, but by changing just a few tiny things, it would radically alter strategy. It would radically alter the way that the game's played. There are people who just want to pray and attend the old ways. And there's a whole new generation who has discovered the old ways, and they are spiritually benefiting from it. And we had reached a positive consensus under Pope Benedict, Summorum Pontificum 2008, where we had he called it the ordinary form and the extraordinary form, and they were both given freedom. But the extraordinary form, the traditional Latin Mass, started to pick up some steam. And Pope Francis stopped it, and he pushed it into ghettos. And so when you create this ghetto mentality, and again, I'm not talking about ghettos like American ghettos. I'm talking about the definition of what a ghetto is, all right? A concentrated, especially as a result of a political, social, legal, religious, environmental, or economic pressure to create these pockets of traditional Latin Mass ghetto. As we just saw in Charlotte, North Carolina, shut down the Latin Mass locations and put it to a new location outside the city.